Hi guys, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to cover exactly how to conduct your research once you have your idea locked in. So we'll break down the two main paths you can take, independent research or mentored lab research, and figure out exactly which one is right for you, and also how to acquire those opportunities. So let's start by comparing the two types of research. The first type of research is called the independent research, and this means that you're basically building your project in your garage or basement without any sort of external help. The pros here are that you have a total control over your time management, it's flexible, you have complete freedom in your methodology, and it oftentimes shows judges your personal initiative. But the downsides are that you don't have professional tools or access to those labs like PCR machine or centrifuge, and you also don't have an expert looking over your shoulder to catch any early on flaws, and you lack that official university affiliation. On the flip side, mentor lab research means you're working directly under a professor at a university, and this gives you access to professional lab space, expert guidance to catch errors early, and it gives you a serious credibility from the university's name. However, these positions are very hard to get into, and the principal investigator might restrict the freedom and scope of your project oftentimes, and you generally have a lot less flexibility compared to doing it by yourself. So which path should you actually choose? This completely depends on your category and what types of project you're doing. So if you're in biology or chemistry, for example, you almost certainly need a mentored setup because things like cell cultures, chemical synthesis, and wet lab work require institutional equipment that you can't really access from home. However, if you're doing engineering or systems, you can actually do either. You can build a lot of components independently using 3D printing, microcontrollers, or using online softwares. And that's personally how I did my research. I did it home independently because I did an engineering project. And if you're doing computational work or machine learning, you could go independent route with no problem at all. All you really need is Python, some public data sets, which is always online, and just a laptop to build highly complex machine learning projects right away. So if you do decide on starting a mentor research, there are two main ways to make that happen. The first one is through the official research programs like Research Science Institute, RSI, SSP, Clark Scholars, or Simon's Summer Research Program. And these are highly selective, but these programs pair you directly with a professor to conduct research. And all these programs listed here are completely paid and residential, which means you don't have to pay that much, except for SSP. A different type of research program is something called pay-to-play programs. Some research programs will require you to pay a couple grand or over 10K sometimes to conduct research with professors. I generally don't recommend, but it is still a great opportunity to start your research. So if you have the financial ability to do those, definitely try those out. And the second way to do it is through cold email, and this is the way that most students do it from what I've seen. So you want to find the right principal investigator or the professor that you want to reach out to through Google Scholar or university department pages, and then you want to send them on email. I actually attached a template that you can download in my resource section, and you want to personalize each email based on the professors and their labs specific publications instead of having a generic email. And then instead of asking for direct requests, ask them for a 15 to 20 minute Zoom call to discuss their work, and then you can bring up your project then, and then he'll be more interested and might have a higher chance of giving you access to their lab. So figure out which path your project needs, start looking to these programs or drafting your cold emails, and I'll catch you guys in the next video how to format your findings. Thank you.